Hey y'all, Rick Sky here, back again from the Appalachian Ocean, and within this video I want to talk about how to watch the big game for free. Now if you're wanting to watch the big game and you don't have cable TV, satellite TV, how can you watch the big game for free? I mean, obviously you could go to a bar, you could go to a friend's house that has cable or satellite, or you could do what I'm about to illustrate within this video. So something you may not know is that there are a lot of free over-the-air HDTV channels. Now to watch those free over-the-air HDTV channels, you've got to have a little bit of equipment. The good thing is the equipment is not expensive, and I'm going to go through each component within this video, and by the way, expand this video's description and click the links there to find all the components for free over-the-air HDTV. Now I have free over-the-air HDTV, and I'm able to pick up about 102 channels, including the popular local networks, which the big game is on one of those popular local networks that I pick up in high definition HDTV for free. So how do you do it? Well, depending upon your physical location, you need to have an antenna that will pick up the towers that are in range. The good news is most geographies, even if somebody's remote like I am here, in most geographies there are typically DTV, they call them DTV antennas. You know, those are the big antennas that are broadcasting the free over-the-air HDTV channels. So in my case, I've got an antenna, and you can see here large antenna because I'm many miles from the DTV towers, the HDTV towers that are broadcasting the free over-the-air HDTV channels. But by leveraging this antenna, which was not that expensive, again, expand this video's description, click the link there to find where to order it online, I'm able to pick up crystal clear HDTV for free. I mean, how awesome is that? Yes, I had to buy the antenna, but if you look at what's called return on investment, ROI, how many weeks or how many months might it take to cover the cost of that equipment? So in other words, if you were subscribing to a satellite TV plan or a cable TV plan, how many months of that bill would you incur before it would equal the cost of the equipment, including the antenna that I'm about to go through in a lot of depth within this video? So, you know, once you hit that point, you really are watching free over-the-air HDTV because you've covered the cost of the equipment by not having to have that expensive cable TV or expensive satellite TV plan that includes the local channels. So the antenna I use, and it doesn't, you know, depending upon where you are, I've got line of sight and I've just got it pole mounted as you see here. You could also mount the antenna in your attic. You could mount it on your rooftop. You could mount it on a pole. You know, depending upon where you're geographically located, you've got a variety of different options. So the antenna that I have, I've only got one, but the beauty of the solution that I use, and I'm going to explain within this video, you could add multiple antennas. So if you had, where you're located, maybe there's a HDTV tower over there and maybe there's one over there, and maybe you want to get both of them. You know, you could add multiple antennas, and then you could add multiple tuners. So what is the tuner? Well, you can see here, it's this good looking box, and basically my antenna, as you see, my antenna plugs into the tuner, and then the tuner that I have, it can either communicate by way of Wi-Fi, or in my case I hardwired it. So I use a mesh network, so I hardwired the tuner into one of my mesh network access points. You could also hardwire it into, you know, whatever your DSL or cable internet provider is, you know, Xfinity, Comcast, AT&T, Spectrum, etc. Whatever the internet provider is in your area. You don't have to hardwire it, but my recommendation, if you can hardwire the tuner to your internet, you know, your cable modem, your gateway, whatever you want to call it, or in my case, I've got it hardwired to one of my mesh network access points, that would be optimal. However, it can communicate by way of Wi-Fi, which is often just as good, but it's hard to trump the performance of a hardwired connection. So I've got the antenna. I've got the antenna coax cable, your standard TV cable, as has been around for many years, 30, 40, 50 plus years. I don't know how long coax cable's been around, but it's that standard, if you had cable TV in your house, it's those little black cables that are coming out of the wall. So I've got that same type of cable, coaxial cable, running from my antenna, running into my tuner, the little white box. And like I said, from the tuner, I've got the optional network cable, patch cable, running into my internet. But you don't have to use that. You can strictly use Wi-Fi. So that's the tuner, and that's the antenna. So what else is required? Well, there's really not much more required. So once you've got your antenna pointed in the appropriate direction, and the tuner, the good thing is when you install the app for it, the Tablo app that works with the tuner, it'll educate you on where the antennas are, where you need to point your antenna. Very, very clean. And speaking of antennas, you don't have to use the large antenna like I use. There's a lot of antenna options, and I've linked them within this video's description, some of which you can position by a window. You can stick to a window depending upon where you're geographically located. An antenna like that may be best for you. And the tuner that I use, the Tablo tuner, is antenna agnostic, meaning it doesn't care if you've got a huge antenna like I've got, or an itty bitty antenna. It doesn't care. The Tablo doesn't care. Now there's two versions of the Tablo. I opted for the 2-tuner Tablo version, because what that means is two televisions in the house, 2 iPads, 2 iPhones, an iPhone and a TV, 2 TVs. 2 things can be viewed at the same time, since I have 2 tuners. Or if you're watching one thing, you can record on the second tuner. Now with the 4-tuner option, that would be up to 4 devices watching unique channels, or maybe you've got 2 devices watching TV and each of those 2 devices are recording. So you've got the capability of 4 with the 4-tuner module, with the 4-tuner Tablo. So it's depending upon your use case. Probably if money allows, and by the way, I've linked them both within this video's description, the price difference between the 2-tuner Tablo and the 4-tuner Tablo is negligible. I just went with the 2-tuner because I don't think here we're really going to be watching that much over the air concurrently. So I couldn't really justify the additional spend, although it's a negligible amount. So with this tuner, this Tablo, as I mentioned earlier, if you've got multiple HDTV towers surrounding your location, you could install multiple antennas, and then each antenna would point to a Tablo tuner. So in theory, you could add a ton of Tablos and a ton of antennas. But for my use case, like I said, I pick up about 102 free over-the-air HDTV channels, which is incredible, with 1 antenna. If I wanted to add another antenna, I could point in other directions, but I get what I want. I get the popular local television networks, the big name networks, that if you chose to subscribe to a traditional cable TV or a traditional satellite TV provider, those big name local networks, those are the things I'm picking up for free over the air. So you got to have the tuner. You got at least 1 tuner, the 2-tuner option or the 4-tuner option. You got to have at least 1 antenna, obviously the coaxial cable that'll connect the antenna to your tuner, to your Tablo. Then on the devices, well, you got several options. So iPhone, iPad, Android tablet, Android phone, you simply can download the Tablo app, and you can watch your free over-the-air HDTV through your Tablo app. Now, if you want to watch it from a television, you got a few options, and this will probably expand in the future, but in my case, I use Apple TV. So I've got Apple TV connected to my 2 large 4K televisions, And I installed the Tablo app on the Apple TV. Super easy. Likewise, if you're an Amazon Fire Stick user, you can install the Tablo app on the Amazon Fire Stick. And by doing so, boom, you got access to your free over-the-air HDTV channels. So it's really simple. And the cost of entry is not that expensive. Like I said, I've linked all of this equipment within this video's description. And keep in mind, if you felt that you may want to add additional antennas in the future, maybe you've got a ton of towers and you want to try to pick them all up, you could always add that in the future. You don't have to add it day one. I mean, day one at a minimum, you need a Tablo and you need an antenna. Boom. And obviously you got to have home internet. But that's the basic thing. Now you can do what I do, and you can see I've got the little hard drive plugged into my Tablo. The storage space built into the Tablo may be more than sufficient for pausing your shows and recording them while they're paused, or recording your favorite television series that's on a popular local television network that you're picking up free over-the-air HDTV channel of. But if you want to add more storage, you can choose to add an external hard drive like I did to even be able to record and retain more shows. So completely up to you. But if you ever feel that you need that hard drive, you could add that in the future. You may not ever need it. You may be a casual television watcher, so you may not ever need it, but that flexibility is there. So to watch the big game for free, this is how to do it. Now, like I said free. Obviously, you got to buy the antenna. You got to buy the Tablo. But once you've got that, like I said, just imagine if you were paying your local television provider, or if you were paying your local satellite TV provider at that dollar amount every month for that traditional television service. How many months of that might you pay to meet or exceed the cost of the antenna and the Tablo? Think about it. And obviously your streaming device if you don't have the Apple TV or the Fire TV already. So that's your break-even point. Once you've broken even, it is truly free over-the-air HDTV. So whether you're watching the big game for free or you're watching your local channels, maybe you like to watch your local news broadcast. Maybe there's thunderstorms coming. Boom, bang, pop. And you want to see what the weather is. Free over-the-air HDTV. It's incredible. It's easy to do. And I hope I explained it within this video in a fashion that's not overly complex. Now, if you've got questions, please comment below, and I'll try to respond in the format of a future video. So I can, I encourage your questions. I'm not one of these guys that says, ask your questions and I don't mean it. I mean it. You got questions, you got comments, post them down below and I'll try to respond within upcoming videos. And by try to respond, I mean I probably will respond. So, that's important. And then also, like I said, I linked everything. Expand this video's description and click the links there. If there's something that you're looking for that you cannot find, comment below, and I'll work to post a link for that component. But this is, at the time of filming this video, this, in my opinion, is the best solution for watching the big game or anything. Free over-the-air HDTV for free. And like I said, I use it. It's a very slick, it's HD, high definition, and I'm not having to pay a cable provider or a satellite provider to view it. How cool is that? And the other thing you may not take into account, a lot of these cable and television providers, they're aware of the fact that people will pay a premium for sports like the big game. And they, if you read the fine print, if you think you're going to get, maybe potentially get cable TV or satellite TV just for the purpose of watching the big game, and your intent is to then quickly cancel it, if you read the fine print, you may find that you are locked into some sort of term commitment, and you may find that before you can cancel, you would be spending potentially hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just to watch that big game. And if you do what I illustrated within this video, provided you've got a tower that broadcasts that free over-the-air HDTV channel that you're trying to watch the big game on. It's a no-brainer. So I hope this video helped. Thanks for your viewership. Again, consider shopping my links. I've got everything linked below. That helps to support my channel and videos like this one. Also, if this video really put a smile on your face, you can tip me in the form of a super thanks. Now, what is a super thanks? Well, you can expand this video's description, and there's a button there that says thanks. You can choose to click thanks. You can choose to send me a super thanks, which is deeply, deeply appreciated. And if you even want to thank me even more, send me the super thanks, subscribe to my channel, ring that bell, and again, shop for all the equipment using my links below, and that just makes me feel great. So thanks for your viewership. Again, ask your questions, post your comments. I encourage that. And thank you very much for your viewership. You have a good day. Hey y'all, Irix Guy here. I hope you enjoyed this video. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel. And when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.